Hello and welcome to the Spark Accounting Solutions Show. I'm Jenny Q. I'm here with Julie Babcock-Hyde, who is a CPA, CFM, profit first professional, which is really going to be handy today because we are going to talk to you about the 5 ways profit first is good for your home service business. Hi, Julie. Welcome.
Hello, I am excited to talk about this today. I spent last week attending ProfitCon, which is the annual gathering of Profit First professionals. We were virtual this year, but great conference, and I am all pumped up again to make sure we are sharing Profit First with small business owners.
That is excellent. I'm super excited. I saw some of your posts while you were attending the conference, and it looks like you had a lot of great information. And so, what can you tell us about how Profit First is unique to a home service business?
So, really, why home service businesses really need Profit First? Profit First is just a cash management system that helps you pay yourself first. So this is great because it helps you manage those challenges that home service businesses have. A lot of home service businesses have seasonality. A lot of home service businesses have to pay for materials and supplies for jobs often before they get paid. A lot of home service businesses are waiting for customers to pay. So cash management becomes a big issue for home service businesses, and Profit First puts some framework around that to help you make sure that you are still profitable and able to pay the owner and your team and keep moving forward.
Let's talk for a minute before we dive into the 5 ways. What is the difference between generating revenue and being profitable?
That's a great question because a lot of people focus on just that top line number. We're at 500,000 this year. We're at a million this year. We're at 2 million this year. But the truth is that depending on whose studies you listen to, between 2/3, so 67 to 80% or more of small businesses are actually cash flow break even or worse,
Hmm.
which means they're not truly profitable. In the terms of when we're talking about profit from a profit first standpoint, that means you have cash in your pocket at the end of the day for the business. The owner's got money, you can pay your taxes, you can do all these things. A lot of small business owners, get to the end of the year and they have no money left, or they're constantly struggling with where's our next payroll going to come from. And that's what we're trying to avoid with Profit First and implementing Profit First for your business is making sure you've got positive cash flow and you know where things are supposed to go. One of our sayings in Profit First is, revenue is vanity, profit is sanity.
Ooh, that's good.
So many people will chase, and people will brag. I've got we're doing 1 million this year. We're doing 2 million this year. That's cool, but how much of that, what are you making any money? Because truthfully, as a business owner, I would rather have net profit of 200,000, 500,000 than zero. Because that's something you can continue growing. That's something that's sustainable when you actually have a profitable business. So that's a great question.
Say that again. Revenue is vanity.
Revenue is vanity, profit is sanity.
Okay, I love that. I'm going to put that in the comments because I just love that. I think everybody should probably make a sign and post that somewhere at their
Yes.
desk. Yes. Okay,
Yes.
perfect. So let's go ahead and launch into the 5 ways Profit First is good specifically for a home service business. Oops, I just hit my microphone. I'm sorry if that was loud and distracting for everybody. So, number 1 is what you prioritize and track gets done.
So here's the trick with profitability for a lot of businesses. A lot of people think that, like, if you ask them, like, how much money did you make this year? What was your net income? They're like, I don't know. I have to wait until my tax return's done. Or I got to wait till the books get closed for the month or whatever. And so profitability is not a priority. It feels like an event that's happened sometime later.
Mm.
And as opposed to something you have control over right this second. So that's one thing I want to say about this. The other thing I want to say about this is You've done your share of working out. Let me ask you this question. Based on your personal experience, is it better to work out at the beginning of the day or the end of the day?
100% the beginning of the day, no question.
Exactly. Like, and
Mhm,
if you want to get something done, you do it first. You make
mhm,
sure it happens. You get it on your calendar. And it's the first thing you do for the day. The same, this goes with time management, this goes with workouts, this goes with, whatever project you're working on. If I want to get it done, if I get in and get that done first, I not only will track that and make sure that it's getting done, but I'm going to prioritize that and it happens. And so
mhm.
with Profit First, we want to make sure that when you have sales money come in the door, that you set aside part of that for profit. It's actually going into a special profit account where you save it and you can't spend it because it's profit. It's something you do first. Now, we do this a lot of times in personal finance as well.
Mhm.
For those of you that have ever contributed to a 401k plan, if you want to do that retirement savings, it comes as a percentage off of your pay each time. You don't even see it, it just goes away. And by putting that first, it happens. It's a priority. If you had to write a check for 10% of your paycheck that you're contributing to your 401k each pay period, it's not going to get done.
Nope.
So this way we get it happening automatically. We get it happening as a priority. It's the first thing we do, and we track and make sure that it's happening.
Okay. Really, really good. All right. Let's pop on to number 2.
Okay.
Get
Number
paid a
two,
reasonable amount for your work. Like that for a lot of business owners, that seems like a foreign concept.
it is a foreign concept for a lot of small business owners. And we've got small business owners that go both ends of the spectrum.
Mhm.
We've got people that, are barely scraping by, barely able to, make their mortgage payment. Um, and just, scrimping at home so that they continue to, they're reinvesting in the business. Um, and what they're spending a whole bunch of money to keep the business going. And they're suffering at home. We also have people that go out and buy a new $60,000 boat and then don't know how they're going to make payroll the next week.
Mhm.
We got
Interesting.
a big sale. We're going to go celebrate. We closed a $100,000 contract. We're going to go buy the boat to, celebrate. And then the operating expenses that they need are gone.
Right.
And so, what I like about Profit First, so we already have a percentage that goes towards profit each time we make a sale. Profit First also has a percentage that's going to go towards owner's pay. And this helps you make sure that you are getting a percentage of revenue into your pocket as a business owner so that you have a reasonable amount of money to live your life off of. Now, one of the things I also like about Profit First is that, as sales go up, your owner's pay goes up because it's based on a percentage of sales. So when you're first starting your business, yeah, you're not going to be able to take a huge paycheck because you don't have a ton of revenue coming in. But as the business grows, your paycheck gets bigger. And there's different percentages that we use for different size businesses. So you can make sure that you're getting a reasonable amount of money to live off of, regardless of where your business is at in the growth cycle.
Okay. All right. That I don't know how that doesn't sound appealing to all small business owners.
I think everybody likes a payday.
Yes. And I love how it increases. So the harder you work, the more you're going to personally see the benefit
Exactly.
versus your business. Well, I mean, the business is also going to grow, but it's
Exactly.
not only that. Yeah. So, and then
Exactly.
when you do go buy that $60,000 boat, you know that it's not going to affect your the cash flow of your business.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
very cool. Okay. All right, all right, all right. Number 3, again, who doesn't want this? Avoid April 15th panic. Ah!
Okay, so we've taken money for profit. We've taken money for owner's pay. If we're running a profitable company, we're probably going to need some money for taxes as well. And this is something that Profit First encourages you to save and set aside. Now, most of you, if you've been in business for a while and you've had a profit before, you know that your tax accountant gives you estimated tax forms that you're supposed to mail in every quarter. But a lot of times, if your business is growing, you still owe more money at the end of the year. And a lot of small business owners really struggle with where are they going to come up with that money. And again, this is something I really like about Profit First. Profit First has you do tax savings based on a percentage of sales, which means if your business doubles, you save twice as much money for taxes, which means April 15th, you're not going to be going, oh crap, where do I get this money from? Because you haven't spent it, you've set it aside, and you know that tax bill is coming. Now, by setting this aside, I am in no way saying that you should not be doing tax planning. You shouldn't be looking at ways to pay the least amount of taxes legally possible, because you should. But most profitable businesses are going to owe taxes, and we want to make sure you're ready for that, as opposed to sitting in your tax accountant's office in tears on April 15th because you don't know where the money's going to come from. I would much rather have you say, "Oh, I owe 30,000. That's cool because I have 35,000 saved. No problem." That's where I want everybody to be at.
Absolutely. And then I'm thinking, where does that other 5,000 go?
Exactly. And that's the other nice thing about Profit First is that 5,000 then becomes profit, and that comes back to you as the owner.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Because I all I heard in what you said was there's an extra 5,000 at the end of the
Money
tax
to
season.
spend. Yep, exactly.
Excellent. Okay, perfect. All right, so we're going to avoid the April 15th panic. And on top of that, we are also going to have a roadmap for how you should spend the money.
When small business owners are starting out their business, a lot of times they don't know, like, how much should I keep for myself? How much should I pay myself? How much should I save for taxes? How much profit should I make? How much should my operating expenses be? And when you implement Profit First, you get a roadmap, and you get the percentages that that tons of small businesses, successful small businesses, are using. These percentages are not based off the people that are break even or worse. These are based off the percentages of people that are being successful. And so you can build your spending plan, you can build your forecast, you can build your budget, whatever you want to call it, but you can build your spending plan and your profitability plan based on winning percentages that are working for other businesses. This is really powerful.
Absolutely. That's so good. Like, how much extra sleep does a small business owner get when this is in place?
I'm going to be honest with you and tell you that implementing Profit First has literally saved the sanity for many of my clients this year.
Wow. Wow.
I mean, can you imagine going through the financial chaos we've been in this year, having your revenue drop 50% or more, and still knowing that you had money in the bank to cover operating and household expenses for 3 to 6 months?
Nice. Yeah. Amazing. Like, amazing.
Yes, and that is one of the really powerful things about Profit First, is that you do have money set aside for taxes. You've got money set aside for, this profitability continues to grow. We're going to talk a little bit more about what we do with that profit money in a minute, but that profit money sits there as a rainy day fund partially.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've got money set aside to cover this stuff. You've got a plan for this stuff. And because you're paying yourself a reasonable amount, you're able to save at home too. And so knowing that you've got a plan for your money, you've got an intentional plan for how you're going to spend it, and you've got a cushion. This has been powerful, and it has truthfully saved the sanity for many of our Profit First clients this year.
Yeah. That makes total sense. Total sense. All right. Ready to get on to what we get to spend the profit on?
I am ready to get on to that because this is the fun part.
Okay. So we've built in quarterly celebration. What does that look like?
So let's talk about why it's important to celebrate as a small business owner. Number one, when you celebrate success, studies have shown you actually attract more success. So even if you don't buy into, the psychological, magic of some of this stuff, know that we've seen it to be true. When people see you celebrating your success, when you celebrate your success, you actually attract more of that into your life. So that's one big thing to know about celebrations and why it's important to be, celebrate wins for your business. But it also, when you do these celebrations, you're releasing endorphins, and who doesn't want a little bit of that? So, how does this profitability celebration look like? What does it look like on a quarterly basis? So, at least twice a month, if not more often, you're putting money into your profit account. And at the end of each quarter, you get to take out half of that profit to reward yourself for being a successful small business owner.
Wow.
So just, think about that. If you've put aside, let's say you put aside 5% for profit, and you've made $200,000 in sales, that's $10,000 over the year, which means an extra $5,000 of, profit distributions throughout the year for you as a small business owner. Um, that's that's a cool thing.
And that's on top of the money that's already been set aside to cover all your household expenses and all of the because you're getting paid a reasonable amount for your work. So this is on top of this is like giving yourself a bonus.
Yeah. Well, and if you think about it, if you owned stock in a publicly traded company and you were just a shareholder, let's say you owned a little bit of Sherwin-Williams stock, um, every quarter they're paying out dividends to their shareholders.
Mhm.
This is your dividend, if you will, for owning a profitable business. And what you're supposed to do with these profit distributions is actually use them to celebrate. We've had clients use it to pay for trips to Hawaii.
Mm.
We've had people use it to buy their dream car. We've had people use it to pay off old, icky personal debt that's hanging over their head. All of those things that make you feel like, hey, my business is creating wealth for me, it's creating fun for me, it's creating financial freedom for me, whatever that feels like, whatever that celebration feels like for you, that's what you do. And when you're first starting out with Profit First, your quarterly profit distribution may be taking an hour to go down to the coffee shop and have a cup of coffee and read your favorite book.
Right. Right.
It may be smaller to start out with. You may not start with the trip to Hawaii, but you do want to, regardless of how big your celebration is, you want to have it and recognize the fact that your business is generating a profit because it is doing something that about 80% of small businesses are not doing. And
Wait,
that's
what
something
percentage? What percentage
um depending on whose studies you look at, 80%
are not doing this?
are not profitable.
Oh, are not profitable.
Are not profitable.
Okay.
67% to 80% are not profitable, which is interestingly enough also about the same percentage of households that live check to check.
Ooh.
So you got to know that implementing profit first, any kind of these pay yourself first plans
Mhm.
are not what everybody else is doing. So people may think what you're doing is weird. You may get pushback about why are you opening multiple bank accounts so that you can save money for profit and save money for tax? Why are you doing that? It's weird. We want to be weird.
You
We're
don't want to
safe.
be
We do not want to be break even or worse. We
don't go
want
status quo on this one.
no, we want to have profitable businesses. None
Okay.
of us started a business going, I hope I break even this year.
Right.
Most of us started a business for freedom. And when we're talking about freedom, it's usually freedom for our time, freedom to work with the customers we want to, freedom to provide the services we want to, financial freedom, all of those things. And so we want to make sure we're building that financial freedom and wealth and, something that is going to be a sustainable business so you can continue to have freedom to work who you want to, freedom to do the type of services you want to. Have that freedom because having money to do it is it's part of the equation.
Yeah. Yeah. Really, really, really good. This is so useful. So we have here, and I'm going to go ahead and show it on the screen, and I'll also add it in the comments. But a free downloadable 5 core chapters of Profit First, and I'll put the link in the comments as well. So this is one way that a business owner could get started with
Yeah,
Profit First. Is that or I mean, I assume they could also contact you.
absolutely. Some people like to read the book and get in it, do it themselves, and that's cool. You can absolutely get the book and implement Profit First yourself, but we find that a lot of people with a lot of things in life, are more successful with a coach. And
Well,
we do profit first coaching. Um,
okay.
and so that is something that we can help with. But I think everybody, truthfully, everybody should read the book. And honestly, if you can listen, Mike Michalowicz is the author of the book,
Yeah.
and he's actually hilarious to listen to.
Okay.
So if you get the Audible version of the book, it will be like the book is entertaining in itself. It's good information. There's entertaining stories in it, but listening to Mike tell it's even better. So check it out on Audible if you're driving around in your truck between jobs, which you probably are. It may be easier to listen to Mike tell the story on Audible, but do check out the book. And then if you need help, reach out.
Perfect. And then what's the best way to contact you?
You're on our Facebook page right now, so click the contact us button, or we're at sparkaccountingsolutions.com.
Perfect. Easy. This was really good. I like this. This is a very positive way to be a small business owner.
Exactly. Make some money.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Julie.
Thank you.